Hello again. Today we're going to do a bluff pocket. So it's a patch pocket with no top stitching. We're going to start with the pattern and then we'll do the assembling. It's a special request from one subscriber, but I challenged myself. I wanted to do it with square bottom, and also I wanted to find an easy way to do it, that complicated pocket. So let's start with the pattern. Okay, so let's make the pattern for the pocket. This one I did is 14.5 centimeter and 17 centimeter high. I think it's a good measurement for your hand, and you should not go any smaller than that. So to do the pattern, I take a piece of paper and I'm going to just make a crease right in the middle to fold it easily. And I'm going to put my measurement. So half of 14.5 is 725. So I place the measurement at two different places. And I'm going to put the height 17 right there and trace the top. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put the hem on top and seam allowance on the side and the bottom. So my hem that I will do is a 4 centimeter hem, and the two other side I'm going to put 2.5 centimeter. It's for a special reason. It's because we want to do mitered corner at the bottom part, so we need more than a little seam allowance. It's to do this part here, so nice clean corner. So once you have your pocket trace with seam allowance everywhere, you're going to cut all around. You're going to make a crease at both side and the bottom. So side and bottom and top. And 2.5. Now we have the crease everywhere. Yes. So you're going to fold on the side and the bottom. So the 2.5 side and bottom. And what you're going to do is connect both intersection or both corner. This inside and outside. You're going to connect them and use tracing wheel or your awl to indicate on all layers this intersection. Now you open it and you should see that you're able to continue the first line we did, the intersection line. So you continue the line, push your ruler 1 cm or seam allowance further, trace again, and we'll take off this corner. But to take off the corner, I'm going to fold back my pattern to cut the two layers at the same time. So before the pattern is finished, we're going to do the notch. So we put a notch at the bottom, center line. We fold to put the notch of the hem. And we place another notch at center top part. This is for your self fabric. So now we do the lining for this pocket. I fold it back and I take another paper that I fold also. We're going to retrace. so I trace until the notch. I could remove it, and I'm going to trace a line 2 centimeters below the notch, 2 cm, because my seam allowance is 1 centimeter. So 2 cm lower than the fold line of the self. This is going to be for my lining. And I cut. So how I show you how it goes. This is my self. Okay, so before assembling and cutting this pocket, we need another piece that I call a sloper. So you take your piece, another piece of paper. That's to help you for the assembling of the pocket. Take another piece. Make sure you did the crease of the pocket, but all around. So you need to be able to fold all 4 sides. And put it over your guide. And you're going to indicate all 4 inside corners. So just go with your awl. So I'm going to go first with the top part. So this was the top of my pocket. I'm just going to do a crease in the cardboard. And the 3 other sides, they're going to be cut. So you could lift. And that little window, you're going to trace it on your fabric. That would be on your garment. So you position it your pocket. You might have little punch hole for the top part. You position it your pocket where you want it, and you're going to really use a chalk, another marker, and trace. Et voila. So we're ready to go assemble the pocket. Okay, so the first thing we'll sew is the lining with the pocket at the top part. So the hem of my pocket is right here. I'm going to place face to face my lining over, and I'm going to assemble with my 1 cm seam allowance. When your seam is done, you just lift the lining and do your understitch on the lining at 1 millimeter. So now you take your big piece and you're going to fold it at the notch of the self fabric, wrong side with wrong side, and you're going to do a stay stitch all around the 3 open sides. Now we're going to go to the overlock on all the sides, even the angles. So overlock is done. Now we're going to close the mitered corner. You're going to fold your fabric face to face. Make sure the 2 sides are together, and you're going to assemble at your seam allowance. Mine is 1 centimeter. Same thing twice. Now we're going to go press those corner and the top hem. So you're going to hold your seam open for both corner, hold the seam open, push it out. Same thing, and push it out. And you're going to go press 2.5 centimeter inside the 3 side. So the pocket is pressed. We're going to place it on the garment. Start by just folding the bottom and place your overlock right next to your guideline. Center the pocket and pin just 1 layer, the top layer, maybe 3 pins. We're going to go sew the bottom line at the width of the foot, just the bottom line. So I'm going to start as far as I can. Now you could remove your pin, and we're going to sew the two sides of the pocket. I like better to sew from the top to the bottom of the pocket. So place it on, and to make sure we're not going to see any overlock coming out from the top pocket at the beginning. At the beginning, I'm going to fold diagonal the big 2.5 seam allowance, and I'm going to start with a back tack. And I'm sewing all the way down, following the line at the width of the foot. It's a little delicate, so you go slowly. So you sew until the corner, and look what we're going to do. We're going to turn and go over the overlock of the bottom seam. So you could go a little bit over the center and remove. So we're ready for the second side. Same thing. I just hold it and hold the top part of the pocket, fold the corner in diagonal, and start sewing with a back tack. And you go as well until the mitered corner. Lift the foot, turn, and go over. You're gonna go over the seam we just did before. So see, I stopped right there, so I'm gonna go a little bit over on the other side. Et voila, you have your bluff pocket. So no top stitch apparent, and you even have a little loose part, bottom and all around. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget, if you need the tools that I'm using in the video, they're available on my site, toolfully.com, and I see you next time.